Welcome to another march. I just wanted to start at the base of the mountain with this beautiful garden. Gotta salute the public workers, and we're gonna go on this third day of the heat wave. Rainbow dragon over time, every time. On these boots, we're gonna go, and I already got the backpack. Today, special D-Day, D-Day, D-Day. Go NATO, go NATO. Anonymous sister friend. Look at that beautiful garden right here, which is public. I gotta commend, salute the public workers of North America, the public workers of North America, the public workers of North America, who embellish our cities, and who planted these beautiful yellow flowers there and beautiful purple flowers, and of course, do all the work now, removing the garbage, keeping the cities clean. The garbage, the compost, and the recycling, always included. In my marching workouts are the public workers. It takes that public and that private. As we go to the mountain, still is gonna turn my head. Head, H-E-A-D. Right and left, because you never know, although I got 9 seconds. 8 and 7. The brake might malfunction and go the brakes. The sun might shoot a solar flare. Or the citizen might press the accelerator instead of the brakes. So now we go. Gotta say my gratitude commence. Begin with my gratitude as I'm about to go to the mountain on the top. Grateful, thankful, my rent's paid, electricity bills paid, got food and coffee, and I'm working with this laptop. Sometimes we gotta work with the tools we're given. Please give me the paintbrushes, and of course the paint. To paint, of course. The benches over here in the mountain, because they're for more than 44 years. The benches have not been painted. Most of them, not all, some have been painted. I saw one 2 weeks ago which had a new paint. And please do not pollute. Do not leave garbage, trash. Put it in the garbage bin if you come here. And look at those tourists coming to Montreal. And look at the building that's painted red, this one and that one, to be the headquarters for the dancing goddess in the Dragon Kingdom. My dream. The dancing goddess in the Dragon Kingdom is my dream for a public-private partnership fundamentally. My call to all willingly loving. My call, Rainbow Dragon War call, CALL, to all the willingly loving. And these need to be painted, of course. I can go up and down 300 times. We're rock and roll. For the butchers, bakers, nurses, doctors, love. LOV, our firefighters. LOV, if you speak with me a few minutes, an hour maximum. And you don't say LOV, I might not talk to you again. Friends with benefits only. From now on, survive COVID. 2020, February 2020 was like death, pestilence, and disease. COVID. It was like death, pestilence, and disease. COVID was like death, pestilence, and disease, So having survived it, take every day, carpe diem, and carpe diem it every day. As of course, try to live in a simple, austere, severe lifestyle, and got that Asperger's, and I'm gonna let my mane out and go straight hydration, because it's hot. Third day of the heat wave. Actually, I think I'm just gonna keep it like that for now, not mane long, because of course, if I do, it's gonna be a little bit of a overheating. It reached 31, I believe, what time it is. And of course, keep in mind that for me to get here from my dragon lair still is about, the route I took is about 7 to 8 kilometers. The route I took is about 7 to 8 kilometers. So it is currently 1:42. It is hot. 1 hour and 16 minutes. So 1 hour and 16 minutes. So that's about 77 minutes. So 1 hour and 16 minutes to get here. And of course, now I'm going on the XYZ, and gotta get a 76 minutes. That's why I drill and drill. So we gotta get it for the X, and for the white, and for the Z. And sometimes we gotta get it on the straight to hydration, and straight to asking you all to please do not pollute. Put it in the garbage bin, and of course put it in the trash. put it in the garbage bin, put it in the trash, and put it in the garbage, you know. So here on the mountain, we're gonna get it on that trash, put it in the garbage, put it in the recycling, and put it in the trash, you know. So that's how we gotta go drill with it, and that's how we gotta go with it. And please do not pollute, because we got public workers, farmers, butchers, bakers, always LOV, food security. Well, it starts with the farmers and those food producers, and money is to buy, sell, money is to buy, sell. And my DRT theory best, my DRT theory best, my DRT theory best. So money, buy, sell, buy, sell, buy, sell, and trade future option puts. And we got to get that hydration, you know. So we got to get hydrated, and we got to get that hydration today, because it's the third day of the heat wave. Heat wave for early June, of course. This is more like late July, August, of course. August, late July. So gotta be grateful, thankful, and gotta do a little bit of translation here. And again, please do not pollute. If you come here today, special on the mountain, we're gonna go it on the mountain, and we're gonna go it on the X and the Y. And my cousin's there without the shirt on, looking good, and gotta stay on the right side here, see, like that. Feels so good. We come here and work out, and always like when I see people training, exercising, it's my obsession, and I love to see people get fit. And we go to the shade, to the shade, to the shade, to the shade, and we gotta get it on the X, on the Y, and the Z. So that's why we gotta get it, you know. So we gotta get it on the drill, and we gotta get it on the now, and we gotta get it inside the shade, you know. So it's always good when I work out, train, and exercise, and I always feel good, you know. Always feel good, and always grateful, thankful. My rent's paid, electricity bill's paid, and got food and coffee, and got that food, got that coffee, and super sun, the sun, my king the pope, the sun, my king the pope, the sun. Yes, UN is my king of the pope. And we're gonna go straight for hydration, and again meditating today, you know, because I am an independent geopolitical analyst and theorist, and philosopher, artist, and athlete, and philosopher and geopolitical analyst and theorist, and who's not perfect, far from it. And gotta salute the youth, gotta get out of the way of the youth. The youth are here on the hop, and gotta salute the troops. Gotta salute the troops. Gotta salute the troops. See, this is what we're gonna put a uniform for here, you know. Gotta salute them now. If you are to get that, opa, get out of the way. Get out of the way. Get out of the way of the children, the youth. That's what we're putting on, of course. Got to put a uniform on for, and of course I got to put a uniform on for and get it on the drill, So that's why we're putting a uniform on, and we're putting a uniform on, Mr. Brother Bill Blair citizen. So we got to go do is change some diapers, read some children's books, or change some diapers before you put on a uniform that's dragging on me public-private partnership call for the protocol for the 21st century. You know, it's this 40 million starts with the just born in the 1 month, 1 year, 2 year, 3-year-old, 4-year-olds, those in the daycares. That's why we got national defense, you know. National defense coast to coast, and my protocols, and a independent geopolitical analyst and theorist who has predicted the situation which is unfolding now geopolitically back in 2019, and who's not perfect, far from it, of course. Who's not perfect, far from it. Who's not perfect, far from it. Who's not perfect, far from it. We got to get it on the drill, you know. So we got to get it on the drill and get that coast to coast, because the geopolitical analysis is a requirement that we go coast to coast, you know. That's all we got now. North Americans Unite is the call, and I say as a protocol to go read some children's books and change some diapers would be a great initiative, and part of my ongoing philosophical artistic campaign, of course, as I go in the mountain now. And that says, of course, be careful there. It says in French that is a plantation zone, so do not go there, because here we're trying to refurbish, and we're trying to plant. See, we're trying to get new plantations, and we're trying to get those new plantations, and we're gonna get it for the extra. We gotta plant some more, and we gotta do. See, that's what it says there. Plantation zones. See, we gotta get it for that drill. So that's all we gotta do, you know. Under the stars on earth, we gotta get it for the for the drills, so we gotta get it for the drills and we gotta get it for the now, so we gotta get it up and down, and that's LOV. Love is action, gotta get that new love, 21st century, play that rainbow black and white, play that rainbow black and white, and play that rainbow black and white, and I look out for myself, fellow citizens here, because it's very abrupt. So, see, most of the people stay on the main road. On the main road, I go, you got many snakes, as I call it here. So, these snakes are, of course, trails. And we can, of course, traverse the trails, and we got to go on the trails as we traverse. So that's why I say for the protocols. And, of course, we got to get it on the go. And you see here it's being refurbished and planted. And we got to get it on the drills as we go, of course, up still. And we got to go it on the way, super important to not pollute if you come here, not pollute, and to be careful, of course, when we go up and down here, to watch our steps, so we might trip on rocks, so it's prudence, it's got to get that prudence, and we got to get it on the X, on the Y, and the Z. So here as we go, got to get it on the X, on the Y, and the Z, So here it is. We got to get it on the X, on the Y, and the Z, and we got to get it for the X, for the Y, for the Z. That's what we got to do. We got to do. And X, Y, Z, so. That's what we got to do, so here we are, plantation zones, and we got to keep one step in front of the other, and we got to move, so that's what we got to do, so it's XYZ, plantation zone right there, so we got to get it on the X and get it on the Y, and we got to get that love, so it is love, and it is what it is, and I'm happy, joyous. Sometimes I get my eyes poked a bit left and right, but nonetheless I'm grateful and I'm happy, joyous, and I gotta get that joy, XYZ, and sometimes we gotta get it for the now, and sometimes we gotta go for the drill, and here the air is so fresh. We got fresh air, Yeah, so fresh, so we gotta get it on that perspiration, and gotta go on that perspiration, and gotta go on that drill, so always on the drill, always on the now, and always on the XYZ, and like I said, we gotta get that protocols to go change some children's diapers, Citizen Brother Bill Blair, and having served in the United States Army post 1776, served twice, was born 3 times, once as a woman, now you get that 50-50, twice as a man, and both times served in the United States Army post 1776, and that's it, that's all. Got something in my eye again, and we gotta get it for that X, for that Y, for that Z, and we gotta get that drill, and we gotta get it on the right side here, because I know I'm in the public, so I got added responsibilities, duties, and obligations. I got added responsibilities, duties, and obligations. I got added responsibilities, duties, and obligations. I got added responsibilities, duties, and obligations, which I would have not had in the normal circumstances of living in my underground lair, Dragon's Lair. It's way better where I live now. I just remember moving, retrograde amnesia, and I left a moldy place. Was sick, ill, and diseased. I don't know if what kind of trauma, or what kind of lifestyle, but kind of got blackout memories. So I remember moving and crossing Canada coast to coast and getting fit, and starting working out, training and exercising, and I've been working out, training and exercising ever since, and have been, of course, workout, train, exercise ever since, workout, train, and exercise ever since, and I've been keeping working out, training on the daily, regularly, and since then a lot of workout, and I love gridiron, football, and gotta say I love women's hockey, rock and roll. I would definitely finance women's rugby, women's hockey, women's basketball, women's sports, and go NHL, support that DGA, Dancing Goddess Army, so get it for that XYZ, and we gotta get it for that love, you know. And we gotta get it on that XYZ. So here we go on the mountain. It's super important to stay fit and get it on the go. It's super important to stay hydrated. Super important, you know, because now it's very hot, especially in the sun. So we got a little bit of a heat wave, ongoing heat wave, and super important to stay hydrated as I go now. And if you come here once again, please do not pollute. Do not leave trash, because there's rabbits. We got rabbits. We got flora, fauna. So just don't pollute. Just put it in the garbage, you know. We gotta get it. See, that's what it says in English. Plantation zone. Right there, plantation zone. So we gotta get it. The sun's strong. I don't mind. That's my Pope the King, and that's the nice sun right there. See? And we gotta get it on the drill, and we gotta get it for the X. And see, that's what it says there. Plantation zone, please do not cross. We should put translations here. I'm willing to make the work. So that's all closed for refurbishment. See? That one also. You gotta watch for that, you know. So it is what it is. And see these little things here? These are our new plantations with the blue. So if you see something that has blue and all colors, that means that it's new plantation. So that's what we're trying to do here, like that one. See, that one. It's a blue plantation, and that one's also with the red, you know, my favorite color. So just be mindful if you come here, because sometimes I pick trash and stuff like that, and it's important, like this one, the blue one, see? Yeah. Anyways, so rock and roll for our farmers, butchers, bakers, nurses, LOV. For our nurses, doctors, butchers, and all those, of course, involved in the production, distribution of food. And we got to get it on the go, and we got to get it on the now, and got to get it for that left and for that right. And super important to not pollute if you come here, and got to get it for the drills, you know. So XYZ, yeah. Got to get it now, you know. See, all this is closed for refurbishments. For refurbishments right here, so it's a lot of work that's been done, you know, to plant all these things here. See? That's why stuff like that has to be recycled. Like stuff like this, you know, gotta go in the recycling. Gotta go in the recycling, you know. That's what you gotta do. Gotta go on that recycling, and that's what we gotta do. Just recycle it. And we got these right here, which needs to be recycled, and to get it on the X and on the Y. Anyways, for the farmers, for the butchers, for the truckers, for the nurses, LOV today, special NATO. Gonna get that D-Day. Today we celebrate, of course, that D-Day. And of course we get it on the overtime every time. See, this is closed. Closed. Beautiful dog. There we go. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah, feels good. See, that's the hawk. Those are hawks. The black and white ones, those are hawks. See how they fly? They just fly. Those are hawks, man. H-A-W-K, they can just go. H-A-W-K, we got hawks in the sky, but you gotta look. They're very beautiful. When they fly, they just glide. Hawks. I'm gonna peck your eyes if you look through them. They're predatory birds, they eat flesh. Yeah. I saw a few already. Saw 2 hawks. You saw them?
Observation? Observation this way?
You want to go see the city?
No.
Yeah.
Just want to look down, yeah.
Yeah, you gotta go straight. Keep on the right side, and just keep going. You're gonna start seeing the buildings, the skyscrapers of the city, okay. And up you go. The best place, that's my favorite place. You're gonna see all the way to the mountains, like far away. It's very beautiful.
How far from here?
From here, my estimation is that it's about 93 meters. 93 meters, perhaps 156. 10 minutes, you're welcome. Enjoy. Anyway, so we're gonna go on the X, and I'm gonna hydrate a little bit here, and we're gonna get a hydration in the sun, and We gotta get it for that drink, but I got my own drinks right here in the back, so we're gonna go hydrated and we're gonna go hydrated in the sun. And we gotta go on the X, on the Y, on the Z. So, anyways, grateful, thankful, rent paid, electricity bills paid, and I like to enter by the side of the mountain here. You know, I love to come here, so please do not pollute. Like stuff like this has to go in the garbage or in the recycling. And thank you to my fellow citizens who did a little bit of smile. But I'm gonna enter by the side, and I'm gonna see them later on. And I see the police with the cops there, the horses mounted, and they got those big horses. I guess they're gonna go put them, clean them a little bit, or whatever the case may be. And you know, the horses of the police are there, and we gotta get it for the mounties, and gotta get to whoop those mounties up, and gonna get degraded a little bit, gonna get degraded. That red, my favorite color, you know. So we gotta get it on the X, and we gotta get it on the X, and gotta get it on the now, you know. So that's for that drills, and gotta salute the mountains. Gotta get that dragon on and give himself some push-ups. You get demoted every time you say rainbow dragon general for that D-Day, you know. So we gotta get it on the X and on the Y, and on the Z, you know. So we gotta get off. See the red, my favorite color, you know. So love me some red, but we gotta get it on the X and on the Y and on the Z. So we gotta get it on the X, Y, Z, and on the now, and on the love, you know, on the LOV. We gotta get it for the X and for the Z. And here we gotta go hydrate. We're gonna get that hydration, and we gotta get it for that hydration. And super important to get it on that X and on that Y when we get hydrated. Well, actually, before I do get hydrated, I wanna throw something because I forgot to discard. 777 emergency service. I gotta get that service and security for the Dragonami 21st century. Based on my philosophy, the king is absent, fellow Canadians. The king is absent. The king is absent is just me and us here, coast to coast, and we gotta get it on the X and on the Y and on the Z. So we gotta get it to the X and to the Y. So here we go. Gonna discard it, and there we go. And now we're gonna be able to go in the mountain inside, and we're gonna go to be able to go on the mountain inside, right in the doors, and I got my red backpack. Red is my favorite colors, and I got those mounties, and you know, as many past lives, many incarnations, born in Canada, and I was a Mountie in the past life. At the beginning, I was a Mountie in the past life. Right at the beginning of Confederation, I was a RCMP. I was myself in the past life, as I served in the United States Army, twice post 70-76, and many wars. Sometimes born as a man, as a woman. I was a priestess in the past life through the legions. You know, between 144 and 156 for almost 22 years. For 22 years I was a priestess until 156. So from about 134 AD was a priestess serving, cleaning the wounds of the legions of Rome. The legions of Rome, I was a priestess. I cleaned the wounds, and I performed other services for the legions of Rome between 134 and 156. 156, I died. I was about 50 years old when I died in that past life as a priestess. I died in Rome, after performing 22 years of serving as a priestess of the goddess, and of course as somebody who was attaining to cleaning, washing, and performing other services like massages to the legions of Rome. Many past life, many incarnations. We gotta get that hydration. And I was a RCMP in a past life. I served both times in the United States Army post 7076. I also served in other wars and was a priestess several times in ancient Egypt. Ancient Egypt, ancient Egypt, ancient Egypt, ancient Egypt. Alrighty, let's go all the way to the top, and now we're gonna discuss the DRT. But once again, I gotta salute the farmers, the butchers, the bakers, the nurses, the doctors, the grocery store clerks on the special D-Day. Go Vets, Go Edition, Go Vets. Our veterans, for our veterans, for our vets today, you know, celebrating D-Day first and foremost for our vets, and always for my anonymous sister friend and the workers who build public infrastructure, the farmers and the butchers, the bakers, the nurses, the doctors, and the grocery store clerks, and all those who build the aqueducts and the sewers and everything that is going on now, you know, coast to coast. We gotta get that coast to coast, coast to coast, coast to coast. Coast to coast, ocean to ocean for the Dragon Army, for the public-private partnership, and we gotta get it on the drill, and we gotta get it on the now, and we gotta get it on the sound, and on the XYZ, and we gotta get it for the X, for the Y. Also, we gotta get the hydration. Oh, let's turn by here. Sometimes we gotta turn a little bit, change a little bit, and as a man, as a woman in a past life, previous incarnations, we gotta get that black, white rainbow, get that black, white rainbow, get that black, white, I play a rainbow 24/7, Rainbow Dragon Army. For the North American Collective Civilization, we gotta go drills and get that coast to coast, and super important because my brothers and sisters, the king is absent. The king is absent. The king is absent. The king is absent. So it's been me and you for the past years, and since COVID, it's been XYZ, and I gotta get it on the XYZ, and here we got coast to coast. We gotta get that Democratic Republic. We gotta get that republic, the Democratic Republic of North America. We gotta get coast to coast, the public-private partnership, the Dancing Goddess, and the Dragon Kingdom. We gotta get that Democratic Republic of North America. We gotta get the Democratic Republic of North America. We gotta get the Democratic Republic of North America. We gotta get it, the Democratic Republic of North America. We gotta get the Democratic Republic of North America. We gotta get the Democratic Republic of North America. We gotta get the Democratic Republic of North America. We gotta get the Democratic Republic of North America. That's what we gotta do for the drill, for the drill, for the drill. And we gotta get it for the X, and for the Y, and for the Z. And that's what we gotta do. Now we gotta keep going up. Gotta keep going up on the drill. Keep going up on the drill. Oh yeah, it feels good. Always now, always starts today. My fitness journey. My fitness journey always starts today. My fitness journey always starts today. My fitness journey always starts today. Oh yeah. Woo. That felt good. Gonna mount it here as well. Oh, that feels so good. So we're gonna go up, and it feels good, and we gotta get it to the X, to the Y, to the Z, and we gotta get it for the now, We gotta get it for the X, and for the Y, for the Z, and for the X, this is now, Anyways, past lives, incarnations. Feels so good. Yeah. Gotta get in the sun a little bit, In the sun. In the sun we will find our passion. In the sun we will find our purpose. In the sun, we will find our passion. In the sun, we will find our purpose. In the sun, we will find our passion. In the sun, we will find our purpose. Let's go for the XYZ, for the drill, for the drill. XYZ, 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 XYZ. In the sun, we'll find our purpose. In the fire, we'll find our passion. Grateful, thankful, rent paid, and electricity bills paid, and got food and coffee, and always joyous when I come here. My second home. Again, please do not pollute. And you get a little bit of technology here, technology here, technology here, and you get a little bit of technology, and get it on the X, on the X, on the Y, on the Z, and it's built to build more towers and more towers, and gotta get that 93 as you know we be, and we gotta get it for the X, for the Y, for the Z, and we gotta get it for the Y, for the Z, for the now, you know. We gotta get it on the left and on the right, and we gotta get it on the left and right, and that's what we gotta do, you know. We gotta give it on the go, give it on the go, give it on the go, and we gotta get it, and we gotta do it, and we gotta be grateful, gratitude. Grateful, thankful, my rent's paid, electricity bills paid, and got food and coffee. Rent's paid, electricity bills paid, got food and coffee, and super important, you know, to get that drill here, drill here, drill here, drill here, and we gotta get it on the now, and all. Now it's all that I know is today, you know. We're all retrograde amnesia. I remember moving, got a blackout, and gotta get it coast to coast, you know. Sometimes we gotta get that service and security. We gotta get that service and security. We got the service and security, you know, which we gotta roll with. So it is what it is, and you know, we gotta get that constant. Always starts now, and always starts on the go, and we gotta get that, of course. Sun is good for you, but you gotta get that circumstantial, and you gotta be mindful that, of course, what your capacities are. So the DRT I'm going to discuss now again. Grateful, thankful, rent's paid, electricity bills paid, got food and coffee, and go vets, go vets, go veterans, go veterans, go veterans, and we got to get it for that love, love, love. I saw people hugging, kissing, and holding hands. It gives me hope. That's for the free world, that west side NATO NORAD, you know. But I tell those troops, NATO, some LOV words, Mr. Got love for my citizen, Jen Stoltenberg, don't get me wrong. Play that rock and roll. If I do criticize, I'm going to propose alternative courses of action. I temper my criticism by action, by counter propositions, and you know, criticizing as well. You can criticize all day, but you take some action, some counter proposals in order to get some things done, some brains and some muscle. And as we go, of course, all the way to the cell, we got to get it for that drill. And here in the forest, we got to get it on the XYZ, man. See, it's a nice place here, and we got the Friends of the Mountains, and it's super nice here. You can come enjoy with us, and I always like when I see tourists, when I see people coming here, you know, it's all nice, and I just like to work out, and I like to see people holding hands and kissing and working out, training and exercising safely here, you know, on the mountain. I have Asperger's, so with Aspie I tend to have my obsessions. I tend to be overly verbose, and you got to tell me to STFU, you know, because I can go on and on and on. With Asperger's, that's my condition. I live with it. I'm working on the symptoms, and look at that beautiful street. That's why we got a little groundhog, and we got a little beauty there, and groundhogs there, and we got to get it on the X and on the Y. So that's what we're gonna do here, you know. So I always like when I come here to work out on the mountain, and of course it's always a pleasure to come here to meditate, to rock and roll for the farmers, butchers, bakers, nurses, doctors, and grocery store clerks, and all those involved in the production, distribution of food, and all those firefighters, LOVR, firefighters, LOV. Somebody got to sing rock and roll for that popo. Ain't nobody perfect. We're working on our races, and we're working on my fellow Rainbow Nation. We're working. It's a work in progress. Freedom is new under the sun, Mr. Solomon. Freedom is new under the sun. Freedom is new under the sun, Mr. Solomon, and we got to get that secured. Food, housing, and shelter, the basics. Build more social housing. You know, it starts with our construction workers, but other prime ministers. So, got LOV, got sometimes 50-50 with my uncle Legault and my cousin Trudeau, but it starts with our construction workers, eh? It's construction workers now on steel toes, who's thinking about them? Public workers, the butchers, the bakers, those changing diapers in daycares, always immersed when I come on the mountain, always thinking about the civilization to be in harmony with nature. The DRT best at this point in time. What is the DRT? So the DRT, keep in mind, is my theory, and my DRT theory includes monetary integration theory. Monetary integration theory is exactly what was done, of course, in the European Union. The European Union, of course, they implemented a monetary integration theory, and monetary integration theory, of course, is what the Europeans did. In Germany, they got rid of the Deutschmark. They got rid of the Deutschmark. Of course, Germans got rid of the Deutschmark, and of course the Deutschmark, and the Italians got rid of the lira, and the French got rid of the franc, and of course all the European countries adopted, many of them, a single currency, of which of course is propositional, and established a common currency, and it created a central bank called the ECB, European Central Bank, and of course the European Central Bank, of course, which they created, was of course a creation of the European Central Bank, and of course the European Central Bank is of course the one that issues, of course, the euro. So we're going to do the same. So we're going to take all the public and the private debt, and of course taking all the private and the public debt, we're going to do the DRT theory, which of course includes monetary integration theory, the debt refusion theory for the creation of the UE, the universal exchange, and of course the universal exchange unit for the creation of the UE. The UE is of course transfer universal exchange, and is the only solution. So we're going to take all debt, public and private, and we're going to take all the debt, because look, this is the proof that my DRT theory is the only solution. The only solution is the DRT theory. Of course, yours truly is, of course, an aspie. So being an aspie, I got my obsessions. The study of civilizations parallel to geopolitics and sports. Dancing is my favorite sport. But of course I got an established routine, and I repeat things twice, three times, and I'm obsessed about several things, and of course major Asperger's symptoms, which there's no medication for Asperger's, but see, out of the curse of Asperger's has come the DRT theory, the debt refusion theory, which there's no other solution. I'm going to show you why. So this picture is taken from November 22nd, 2023. So in 2020-2021, we paid 20.3 billion in interest, just paying an interest on the public debt. So a billion is 1,000 million, a billion is 1,000 million, a million is 1,000 million, a billion is 1,000 million, has nine zeros, right? So now 3 years later, 2020-2021, of course, we pay 46.5 billion, and of course a billion is 1,000 million, a billion is 1,000 million, a billion is 1,000 million. So that's what it is. 20.3 billion we paid in 2020-2021. That was the amount of interest which we paid, of course. And in 2023-2024, we paid 46.5 billion, you know. So 20.3 billion 2020 and 2021, we paid the amount of interest. So that is a staggering, just paying debt servicing, in other words, paying the interest. So do you see that this number cannot be sustained? Because in 3 years it more than doubled. Of course, sure, we had, of course, the COVID protocols which needed to be implemented, and of course being implementation of the COVID emergency funding for relief and for food security and for housing and for rent. Of course, that's what we had. But you see that this is not sustainable because it more than doubled. So from 20.3, it went to 46.5, right? So that's billions of dollars. That's $1 billion. That's 9 zeros, right? So you can see that that is not sustainable. So the course of action is that that is not sustainable. So you see the numbers by yourself, the public debt there, it is, of course, 46.5. There's no solution. There's no solution other than my DRT theory. Somebody spoke in my eye. They don't want the solution. The solution is that with LOV, the debt refusion theory. So I'm going to explain it. We're going to take all public and private debt, and keep in mind that my DRT theory, now my right eye, my left eye, gonna get eaten. The solution is going to be implemented. LOV, workout, train, exercise. So whether they like it or not, with my Pope the King, the sun is shining. The Pope the King is shining. Son, my Pope the King is shining. My Papa Crowley buried me a little bit in Papa Crowley in Hampton, New Jersey. Aleister Crowley, anyways, Aleister Crowley. So, anyways, take all the public and the private debt. My 10,500, your 10,500, whatever it is. All the public and the private debt. We're gonna refuse it. So we're gonna add it all up together, and all that amount of money will be coast to coast, coast to coast, coast to coast, coast to coast, ocean to ocean. All that money will be coast to coast, ocean to ocean, coast to coast, ocean to ocean. And of course, my 10,500, your 10,500, we're gonna add it all up. My 10,500, your 10,500, and we gotta get it on the X, on the Y. So we're gonna implement the DRT theory, and we're gonna get it all on the drill, and we gotta get it on the XYZ, and we're gonna be implemented all the debt refusion theory, and we're gonna LOV. Of course, we're gonna get the LOV and SYZ. So we're gonna take all that DRT, and XYZ. So we're gonna take all the public and the private debt, and we're gonna, of course, get it on the go. So we're gonna take the $10,500 of mine and yours and ours, and we're gonna get it all on the X and on the Y and on the Z, and we're gonna get it for the XYZ, and we're gonna add it all up coast to coast, and we're gonna add coast to coast Canada, North America, and we're gonna get it on the XYZ, and that's what we're gonna do. So add it all up, all the debt, the public and the private, the public and the private debt, 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 and XYZ debt is gonna be in the trillions. So all that number is gonna be the initial money supply, the initial money supply. So all the public and the private debt, we're gonna get it inside, and we're gonna add it all up together, and that's gonna be all the debt, all the public and the private debt, and we're gonna get it all together. We're gonna add it all up, and we're gonna add it all up together, and we're gonna get that amount of money, which is gonna be in the trillions, and with that, we're gonna finance an initial money supply, all the world central bank and North America's central bank, which is gonna issue the UE, of course, the universal exchange unit, and we're gonna get it XYZ, and we're gonna get it on the X and on the Y. So we're gonna implement that theory, the DRT theory. We're gonna take all the public and the private debt, and all that money is gonna be added all together, and with all that money, we're gonna finance a new bank, and this new bank is gonna be called the North American Bank, just like the ECB. The ECB, of course, is the European Central Bank. We're going to create the bank, of course, and we're going to create that new bank, which is going to create the UE, the Universal Exchange Unit, Universal Exchange Unit. So it's going to be UE.U, Universal Exchange Unit, Universal Exchange Unit. We're going to salute the youth. So the Universal Exchange Unit. So we're going to take all of it, and we're gonna create it all together. So all that money is gonna be the initial money supply of that central bank. So all the debt, public and private debt, we're gonna add it all together. All the debt, public and private, we're gonna add it all together, right? So my debt, your debt, our debt. So all the debt is gonna be added all together. It's gonna be all the public debt. Salute the children. Let the children play safely, securely. Salute the children and let them play safely, security free. Let the children dance freely and play safely, That's my motto. So we're gonna take all the public and the private debt, and that's where I want to build, where the children were the forgotten goddess temple, and that's where I want to build, of course, the forgotten goddess temple, and with the house of the dragon. So we're going to take all the debt, public and private debt, my private debt 10,500, with yours, with ours, and of course we're going to create, of course, a new currency, just like they did in the European Union. Again, a bug tried to poke my right eye now, so right and left, and we're going to take all the public and the private debt, and we're going to create all the public and the private debt, and of course we're going to get all the public and the private debt created, that is added of Canada, US, Mexico, from a North American perspective. So all my debt, 10,500, yours, ours, coast to coast Canadians, public and private, and we're going to create a new currency called the UE, the Universal Exchange Unit. So once again, the DRT explained, and keep in mind again, the DRT includes monetary integration to you, which is exactly what was done in the European Union. So we're gonna take all the debt, my 10,500, your 10,500 hours. So I'm just gonna turn back to go there. My debt, your debt, our debt. So my 10,500, yours, we're going to add it all up. Canada, United States, Mexico. Since the United States dollar still is the currency of choice, we're going to do the conversion from Canadian dollars. You can hold the public private debt of Canada to US dollar. We're going to add it all up together with the US dollar, Mexican peso, peso. We're going to add it all up with the US dollars, and we're going to add it all up. And that's what we're going to do. We're going to get North America. So we're going to get the debt refusion theory, and we're going to create the UE, the Universal Exchange Unit, U dot, just like they did in the European Union, So we're gonna create, of course, the UE, U dot, Universal E dot Exchange Unit, Universal U dot E dot Exchange Unit, Universal U dot E dot Exchange Unit, the Universal Exchange Unit, the Universal Exchange Unit, the Universal Exchange Unit, the Universal Exchange Unit. So we're gonna create the Universal Exchange Unit, and of course we're gonna create for the UE, the Universal Exchange Unit, and we're gonna do the biometrics, the hand, the voice, and the unique biometric identifiers, and we're going to create, it can be transatlantic, so we're going to convert it to all the Canadian debt to US dollars, and we're going to create a new currency just like they did in the European Union called the UE, U dot, Universal E dot Exchange Unit. That's what I'm calling my astrological brother, Scorpio Bill Gates, Scorpio Joe Biden, Scorpio Blackhawk, BlackRock, Blackstone are two different private financial institution. Another Scorpio, it's all Sagittarius included, all astrological sign, it doesn't matter, but of course all the signs together. So we're gonna create the Universal Exchange Unit, and here's of course where I will to build, of course, the Forgotten Goddess Temple, with a House of the Dragon. With that money we're gonna be able to build the third one, the Rainbow People's Palace. Gonna be able to mass finance citizens to work out, train, exercise, to rebuild infrastructure, to paint bridges, and to build infrastructure, and to communicate. That's the curse of Asperger's. Now I present to you through the curse, the blessing for me, for you, for us, for North America, is the only solution to save us from financial catastrophe and Armageddon. I'm just gonna put my glasses on. I love to stretch a little bit with this rock right here. I love to stretch from the rock. They're like a pyramid. Anyway, so here's where I want to build the Forgotten Goddess Temple, and the House of the Dragon here in the pyramid, simple austere, and we gotta get it for the House of the Pyramid, House of the Dragon right there, and here we gotta go for that X and for that Z. So that's what we gotta do. So once again, and with trillions of kisses for the pyramid, scarlet crimson, the pyramid, House of the Dragon with the Forgotten Goddess Temple, 7 stories high, of course, 7 stories high, and we gotta get it on that drill, and we gotta get it to the X, to the Y, to the Z, and we gotta get it to for the now, for the now, and that's what we gotta do. We gotta get that drill, we gotta get that drill, and we gotta get that X, man, and we gotta get that X, and Y and Z, and we gotta get it now for that 93, and for the North Americans unite, for the collective North American civilization, the solution. Many are in debt, public debt, private debt, and we're gonna create the UE. So we're gonna take all the public and the private debt, my 10,500, we're gonna add it all up. It's gonna be in the trillions with the Mexican peso conversion to US dollar, because the US dollar, United States dollar, still is the international finance currency of choice, the global business currency of choice, and the international global business currency of choice, and of course for world trade and for tourism still is the currency of choice, the United States dollar. So we're going to do that conversion. It's going to be in the trillions. That will finance the initial money supply, the initial money supply. So that's what it is, XYZ. So it is what it is, and that's what we're going to do. So that is the initial money supply. All that money supply is going to be, of course, in it, and we're going to finance without the initial money supply. We're going to set an interest rate level of 10%, an initial interest success rate level of 10%, 10% maximum. It's going to be 10% maximum, 10% maximum thereafter. No more than 10%, no more than 10%, no more than 10%. And we're going to set that limit of 10%. We're going to freeze the prices, price the goods, sandwiches, bread, butter, milk, eggs, freeze the price, standardize. And with that, we're going to be able to build a integrated citizen integrated based on my theory, citizen integration theory, coast to coast citizen integrated new army for public-private partnership for the 21st century, for coast to coast, the Dragon Army, and the Dancing Goddess Army, the Dragon Army, and the Dancing Goddess Army, the Dancing Goddess Army, and the Dragon Army, the Dancing Goddess and the Dragon Army, the Dancing Goddess Army for environment, for nature, and for defense only. We're going to be able to build more satellites, and build centers of course, centers where, of course, people can, of course, check. People can check the public transportation, where everything that's going on in the public transportation, and whatever they have, the public transport, and of course they can check where the farming and all the works that's being done, and monitor integrated theory, integrated security and service, Dragon Army citizen integrated security and service, and know everything that's happening, transpiring, and of course 24/7 monitoring, of course the public service, and to get, of course, in the public service and get it on the X and the Y and the Y on the Z. So that's what we're gonna do. That's what we're gonna do. So we're gonna get that citizen integration theory. We're gonna get it on the X, and we're gonna get it on the Y. So it's super important. The DRT theory is the only solution. There's no other solution but the DRT theory. So that is the only solution. You can argue, there's no argument there, but it's left, right, and center. But that is the only solution. The DRT theory is the only solution for now. For today, that's the only solution. The debt refusion theory for the creation of the UE. Now we're gonna create, of course, public-private partnership, and we're gonna do XYZ, and we're gonna do on the XYZ. So that's what we're gonna do, So that's what we're gonna do. We're gonna create the DRT, the debt refusion theory for the creation of the UE, and we're gonna get it on the X and on the Y, So that's what we're gonna do. Create the UE. So create the debt refusion theory for the creation of the UE, That's what we're gonna do. That's what we're gonna do. XYZ, That's what we're gonna do, man. The debt refusion theory for the creation of the UE, That's what we're gonna do. Now we're gonna go do a little bit of hydration. We're gonna hydrate, and feels good. So that's what we're gonna do. So anyways, that's what we're gonna do. We're gonna create the DRT, debt refusion theory, and we're gonna get it for that NASA, build more satellites for defense, and we're gonna build supercomputers to build, of course, interconnected satellites, interconnected sats to have the monitoring coast to coast, to be able to go coast to coast, We're gonna do it for that and XYZ, for the XYZ, and we're gonna do it for the X, man. That's what we're gonna do. We're gonna get it on the Y and the Z, and we're gonna build more satellites coast to coast and ocean to ocean. We're gonna build more satellites. XYZ, so we're gonna build more satellites, and build more sats interconnected, super defense systems, and that's what we're gonna do. We're gonna build that super defense system, and super important to build coast to coast, ocean to ocean. We're gonna build more drills, and we're gonna get it on the X and on the Y and the Z, That's what we're gonna do. We're gonna build it XYZ, yeah. Gonna build more, man. Yeah, let's go in the sun. In the sun we'll find that passion. But we gotta get that hydration, Super important. Gotta get fit, man. I love fitness, and gotta get it for that X, for that Z, for that Y, and we gotta get it on the drill. Gotta get it for that X, for that Y, That's what we're gonna do, man. Right here, get hydration. Thank you to the workers. Imagine all the work underneath to do all the work underneath, eh? Wow. To build all the systems for us to have water here. That's a lot of work for the public workers, man. Thousands of miles of underneath, thousands of miles of underneath cave, aqueducts that were built, of course, to build it. Now we're gonna need to build some more of those. Yeah. Imagine all that work done underneath, man, for us to have that water. Just think about that for a second. Like all the labor to build that, just so much public work, so much brains and muscle just for us to have running water. For me here to come to hydrate on a heat wave and get it on that heat wave when I love me some little hydration, and we're gonna get it on the X, on the Y, on the Z, and we're gonna get it for the lovers, you know? Somebody making that LOV, man. Oh yeah, there's the king. There's the king, the son, my pope, undethroned by no prophet as of yet. There's a joke in heavens. It's like, hey, oh yeah. Oh yeah. So hot, super hot. Anyways, we made it to the top. And oh yeah, get that sun, man. Gotta get out of the way, man. Gotta get out of the way. Oh, this is gonna be nice gardens here. Wow, it's gonna look good. That'd be nice, man. And these ones are gonna be nice also. What? Yellow? What? Yeah, I like yellow flowers. No need to spy on me, Russia, China. Gotta get it for that rock and roll, up in the go. We're gonna come back, we're gonna switch to that French, and we're gonna get it on the X, on the Y, and the Z, you know? Ah, what a hot day. 31 degrees maybe. Look at that river, is boiling. I can see for the truckers, for the farmers, for the butchers, for the bakers, for the nurses. Yeah, play a rainbow 24/7. It ain't all about the farmers and the butchers and the bakers and the nurses and the doctors. Thank you to those grocery store clerks. Gotta sing it for the mountains, for the rivers up and down. For the rivers, that's a clowns. For the rivers, for the bucks, for the livers, for the loves. For the firefighters and the butchers, for the lovers singing birds. For the lovers singing loves, for the loves singing doves, for the construction workers building those skyscrapers. Gotta get it for the firefighters, gotta get it for the lovers, gotta get it for the youth, gotta get it for the vets. D-Day, I said it yet. For the D-Day, this rock and roll is dedicated to the D-Day, vets. Let's sing it a little bit for our vets. Today we celebrate D-Day. Le débarquement de la Normandie, on va faire une chanson bilingue. So now we're gonna switch it to that French because we in la belle province. We're gonna start with some rock and roll avec du rock and roll, baby, avec du rock. It's a rock and roll, but first we're gonna finish it a little bit in that English for the vets. Let's go, we sing it for the vets up in upset, for the vets up in the yet, for the vets up in the traps, for the vets up in the D-Day, for the firefighters, butchers up in relay, for the farmers and the butchers, for the bakers and the nurses, for the truckers, gotta love them, for the singing for the bakers, for the singing for the Lakers, for the singing for the chew, for the train up in the do, for the train up in the loo, for the train up in the Sioux. For the lovers, for the youth, for the butchers and the bakers, for those D-Days up in Lakers, for the D-Days up in Lakers, for the streets up in the bakers, for the love up in the Lakers, for the streets up in the Sakers. Save us! Ain't nobody but the goddess, and the dragon, the king is absent. Ain't nobody but the goddess. And the son, my king, the king is absent. Ain't nobody but the goddess. My pop the king regardless. Ain't nobody but the goddess. I might cope up the king regardless. Ain't nobody but the goddess. I might pop the king regardless. For the bakers, for the nurses, for the truckers, for the doctors. I said yeah for those helicopter chopper. I said yeah for those savers, for the lovers, for the bakers, for the nurses, for the doctors. We gonna sing it one again. We gonna sing it once again for those butchers and we lay and we lay up in parlay and we say up in today for those truckers up we say for the vets. I gotta sing it for the vets. We gotta ling it for the construction workers all the way to the mountains. Let's go open up from coast to coast. We're gonna build up in the road. We're gonna build up in the soul. For the North Americans unite. You know that's a lot of sight. For the love up in the butchers. For the love up in the lookers. For those truckers and the bikers and the butchers coast to coast. For the sun up in the road. That's the king up in the lone. That's the king up in the pope. That's the king up in the ropes. Let's go. On va commencer en français maintenant, un rock-and-roll du dragon arc-en-ciel. Là. Pour les vétérans aujourd'hui, c'est le débarquement de la Normandie qu'on célèbre. On va faire une célébration, let's go. Allez, à la danse, s'il vous plaît. Faut-tu que je répète? Ah ouais, en arc-en-ciel, les mains dans les airs, regarde le bleu ciel pour les fermiers et les infirmières. Les travailleurs de l'Hydro-Québec, ben bâti, bon central. Hey, la gratitude, je me gratte. La gratitude, je me gratte. Whoop! Pardon tous ensemble, la gratitude en arc-en-ciel, je dois personne, rien à personne. Et la rivière, ça bouille, il fait chaud mon pape, le soleil, puis en mode libre. Toujours à la danse, toujours sur le Mont-Royal. Regardez bien du ciment, les travailleurs en construction, du savoir-faire, du ciment puis du béton. Avec ma tante qui danse jusqu'aux îles de la Madeleine dans les 17 régions. Ça monte, ça grue, ça monte, ça fasse ensemble. Regardez bien la construction. Ils en ont fait avec du ciment puis du béton. Et Québécois et Québécoises. Pas de danse, pas à la gauche puis pas à la droite, des fois dans le centre, il faut que ça chatouille. Hey, regarde, ils sont en train de rire. Ils disent, hey, c'est de la comédie, pas du rock'n'roll, merci. Oh, ça passe, on a du vin puis du fromage, on a du savoir faire des satellites. Le ciel bleu en couleur, puis les ponts en ondite. Pas besoin de l'eau bénite, juste une bière à la place. Pas besoin de l'eau bénite, juste une bière à la place. Et chez nous, ça chante puis ça danse en multicouleur du rock'n'roll pour le royaume de l'arc-en-ciel. Que ça fasse de la comédie. Et le soleil qui brille, il fait chaud aujourd'hui. D'une chaleur, la chaleur, la vague, c'est l'été, mais on est juste en jouant. Le dragon arc-en-ciel, là. Oh yeah. That's that rock and roll, man. Du rock and roll 24 sur 24. La poésie, rock and roll, puis la gratitude pour les fermiers, puis les travailleurs dans l'administration, puis tous ceux qui font l'élevage maintenant, les pompiers, amour aux pompiers. On va faire pour l'amour aux pompiers, bien sûr. Que ça fasse, bien sûr, pour les travailleurs dans l'administration, tous ceux qui sont sur la route, maintenant, ils font l'amour, les jeunes, ils dansent, puis ça fasse, bien sûr. Et tous ceux qu'on a, bien sûr, ici, avec du vin, les producteurs de viticulture, puis aujourd'hui, c'est pour les vétérans, toujours pour les travailleurs publics, qui font, bien sûr, le changement des aqueducs. Il va falloir, je m'hydrate un peu parce qu'il fait chaud. Aujourd'hui, il fait super chaud, fait que je vais procéder à l'hydratation. Imaginez-vous, juste pour avoir ça, pour voir ici l'eau, le travail qui a été fait en souterrain. Tout ce travail qui a été fait en souterrain, bien sûr, qui a été fait pour avoir ici le travail en souterrain. Et bien sûr, pour avoir ce travail en souterrain ici, pour avoir tout ce beau travail qui a été fait, des millions de kilomètres, bien sûr, des kilomètres ici. Des kilomètres. Des kilomètres que ça a fait. Puis bien sûr, des kilomètres. En tout cas, ça a pris bien du travail pour bâtir tout ça. Imaginez-vous, juste pour avoir de l'eau ici. Là. Ah ouais? Ouais, hein? Je fais une méditation, là, puis je me demande tout le travail qui a été fait de les tuyaux pour juste qu'on aille de l'eau.
Oui.
Tout un privilège, là,
Oui.
si on passe. Je faisais une méditation, je riais, puis j'avais dans ma tête des noms, tu sais, des noms qui l'ont bâti du passé. Là. Je leur faisais de la comédie un peu.
Ouais, c'est correct ça.
Ah ouais. En tout cas, je vous ai pas connu, mais je vous apprécie. Que vous ayez été pour le bâti, l'avoir bâti, moi je vous apprécie. Pour avoir cette civilisation. Et voilà. Anyways. Fait qu'aujourd'hui, pour les vétérans, pour la gratitude, pour les travailleurs publics, bien sûr, qui font le changement des aqueducs, puis votre Asperger's, qui est là, bien sûr, ici, puis toujours aimer l'entraînement physique, je vous encourage, puis bien sûr, oh, c'est l'amour, ils ont fait de l'amour, ok, l'amour c'est bon. Parce que si vous me parlez d'une heure, là, vous me parlez rien d'amour, je veux rien savoir. Je vous entends pas, tu sais. Hey, salut! Je voulais juste vous dire merci pour avoir planté tout ça, là. Parce que moi, j'adore ça. Les tulipes sont parties déjà, là.
On les a enlevés la semaine passée.
Ouais.
Puis là, ben, il reste juste ce bed-là à faire.
Ouais. Merci, merci. Moi, j'apprécie parce que je viens souvent ici. Puis l'année passée, c'était tellement beau, là.
Ça va être beau aussi.
Ouais, on verra, on verra. Salut, bonne journée à vous. Merci. Je voulais juste dire un mot de remerciement. Mais... Merci, ciao, ciao. Ah. Merci, merci. Puis c'est bon ici, on fait tout ça, des affaires ici. Puis c'est pour moi, c'est pour vous. Puis moi, j'apprécie tout ça qui ont fait le travail. Tu sais, c'est tout un travail pour avoir pour nous autres. Tu sais, c'est pour moi, pour vous, pour nous. Fait que moi, j'apprécie les travailleurs publics, tu sais, qui viennent ici. Puis ils font du travail, du travail, du travail, du travail, du travail. Puis c'est du travail ici à faire, puis tout ça. Puis c'est tout ça. Puis ça, c'est bien du travail qu'on a à faire. Puis l'affaire qu'on a à faire. Puis il faut faire bien du travail. Puis il y a du monde qui travaille maintenant, les infirmières. Puis j'y pense aux autres. Puis les enseignants puis enseignantes, puis des fois c'est de la gauche puis de la droite, des fois c'est de la gauche puis de la droite, des fois c'est la gauche puis de la droite, des fois c'est bien sûr des choses qu'on a à faire, puis avec la chanson pour la belle province, il faut toujours le savoir-faire ici, puis j'adore voir des gens qui s'aiment, puis s'embrassent bien sûr, mais vous pouvez vous donner des câlins, des chatouilles, puis des choses comme ça. Moi j'adore toujours voir ça, des couples, tu sais, qui sont ensemble, puis qui s'aiment, puis ça me donne l'espoir, puis moi je suis bien, je suis arc-en-ciel, tu sais, androgyne, gay pansexuel, androgyne qui aime ça faire le matchmaking, mais tu sais, avec l'Asperger's, ben ça a été quand même, j'ai fait beaucoup d'amis, puis j'ai perdu 99% des amis, là. Je me suis gardé 1%, là, mais parce que l'Asperger's, ben, c'est pas une maladie mentale, mais c'est une condition de neurodivergence, hein. Une condition de neurodivergence, c'est une condition neurodivergente, puis c'est ça, c'est une condition neurodivergente. Et puis je vis avec, je fais la gestion de mes symptômes, puis mes symptômes, c'est avoir des obsessions. Je suis obsédé par certains intérêts, bien sûr, que j'ai moi-même des intérêts, puis au point de l'obsession, puis comme la géopolitique, c'est mon royaume, tu sais. Mon royaume, c'est la géopolitique. C'est la géopolitique de mon royaume, ben, c'est ça, c'est la géopolitique. Et bien sûr, c'est ça que j'aime, puis j'adore, puis c'est ça la géopolitique que j'en fais, puis c'est le temps que je laisse un peu ma crinière, on va aller un peu, puis on va retourner dans 13 minutes, on va faire de l'entraînement physique à 3 heures, parce qu'il faut que je retourne après ça, d'1 heure à peu près, puis on va retourner dans ma grotte. Parce que d'ici jusqu'à ma grotte, ben, c'est quand même du temps, puis déjà je suis quand même à l'entraînement physique. Encore une fois, ben, je vous encourage à faire l'entraînement physique. L'entraînement physique a été, c'est vraiment ma thérapie de choix. L'entraînement physique a été seulement thérapie de choix. Puis, bien sûr, je vous encourage à faire de l'entraînement physique québécois et québécoise. Et puis, toujours quand je viens ici, j'ai des flashs du soleil des réincarnations parce que j'étais né des fois homme, des fois femme. 50-50, vous avez maintenant, vous ne pas. Un philosophe arc-en-ciel, puis rock-and-roll arc-en-ciel, puis votre dragon arc-en-ciel, bien sûr, qui est centriste universel, par exemple, centriste universel, un centriste universel pour l'Amérique du Nord, pour le collectif de civilisation nord-américain, mes protocoles, puis mes propositions, mes initiatives, puis quand je dis bien sûr de soutenir le royaume de la déesse et du dragon arc-en-ciel, de soutenir le dragon et la déesse arc-en-ciel, de soutenir le dragon arc-en-ciel, de soutenir le dragon arc-en-ciel, puis bien sûr de soutenir le dragon arc-en-ciel, c'est bien sûr pour soutenir le dragon arc-en-ciel, bien sûr, un beau soutien, bien sûr, d'un point de vue moral, puis point de vue de la philosophie, puis point de vue de l'intégralité de côte à côte pour la défense de l'Amérique du Nord. Parce que je suis bien sûr pour la défense du collectif de civilisation nord-américain. Je suis québécois, canadien, nord-américain. Dans une autre vie, j'étais né aux États-Unis après 1776, 2 fois comme un homme, puis 1 fois comme une femme. Des fois, j'étais né femme. J'étais fille du roi. Après Jean de Mance, j'ai travaillé une vie de 50 ans, puis comme fille du roi, puis d'autres choses, comme infirmière, puis oui, fille de Jésus, si on veut dire. J'étais aussi fille de Jésus, malheureusement. J'ai une version rock&roll de la spiritualité, là, moi. La déesse, c'est déesse avec le Dieu qui danse, le Dieu puis la déesse qui danse, puis le soleil, mon pape. Vous savez, je suis télémite, non sectaire, par exemple. Mais anyways, la spiritualité, puis le mystique, que je sois mystique de côté. Puis j'ai en l'Asperger, puis avec amnésie rétrograde, tu sais. Je dis toujours, je répète l'importance de faire l'exercice physique, puis de financer. Je fais des années des appels pour qu'on finance l'exercice, pour qu'on finance l'exercice physique, pour qu'on finance l'exercice physique, pour qu'on finance l'exercice physique, et puis bien sûr pour financer l'exercice physique, c'est super important de faire le financement de l'exercice physique, puis c'est super important d'avoir de la mentalité, bien sûr, qu'on soit dans le soleil, puis qu'on soit bien sûr pour avoir un soleil. En tout cas, fait qu'ici avec votre aide, je vais bâtir la pyramide du dragon arc-en-ciel, la déesse, ici le temple de la déesse oubliée, bien sûr, que ça fasse ici, en arrière, puis en avant, sur le côté, avec ça, vous pouvez faire la danse, puis entraîner. Ici, comme il y a un gymnase, hein, il peut y avoir un gymnase juste là, comme un gymnase, là. Vous pouvez faire l'entraînement ici, ben c'est comme un gros gymnase là, ouvert. Là. Vous pouvez venir puis faire l'entraînement physique, et puis bien sûr à faire de l'entraînement physique, c'est super important dans les démarches, puis que ça soit bien sûr du X, Y, Z, puis pour que ça fasse bien sûr de l'amour là-dedans, l'amour, puis la pyramide du dragon, écarlate, juste là, et bien sûr que ça soit de la pyramide écarlate, bien sûr, d'être là, puis on va faire bien sûr avec la pyramide, puis écarlate, rouge, écarlate, puis bien sûr avec tous les projets que je veux faire pour bâtir le temple de la déesse oubliée, déesse oubliée à 7 étages en multicouleur là-bas, vis-à-vis de la pyramide. J'ai juste besoin de 3 chambres, moi-même, même si j'ai la gratitude, hein, où j'habite maintenant, là. J'ai la gratitude parce que hey, j'ai l'amnésie de trucs, je m'en souviens, il y avait beaucoup de moisissures, j'ai déménagé il y a un couple d'années, puis commencé à m'entraîner, j'étais en dépression puis suicidaire, puis j'ai traversé le Canada de côte à côte, et bien sûr, en traversant le Canada de côte à côte, j'ai sorti de la dépression, et puis j'ai sorti de la dépression. Et je me suis dit tellement de choses à faire, à écrire des livres, des philosophies, puis j'ai continué mon travail avec Asperger, ça n'a pas été facile, j'ai perdu beaucoup d'amis, surtout LGBTQ, parce que je suis arc-en-ciel, gay, pansexuel, androgyne, je suis gay, androgyne, pansexuel, puis je me suis fait beaucoup d'amis, mais 99% je les ai perdus, ben c'est ça, l'Asperger's, ben c'est difficile, il n'y a pas beaucoup de monde qui ont l'Asperger's, puis c'est pas une maladie mentale, c'est une condition neurodivergente qui fait que des fois j'arrête pas de parler de mes sujets d'intérêt, comme si je commence avec la géopolitique, ça s'arrête pas parce que je connais la géopolitique 24/24, puis je suis un fanatique du sport, mais la danse est mon sport préféré, bien sûr, la danse Et mon sport préféré, la danse. Et mon sport préféré, la danse. Et mon sport préféré, la danse. Et mon sport préféré, puis c'est ça que j'adore. Puis avec l'entraînement physique, puis le rock and roll, c'est ça que j'aime. Puis bien sûr, c'est ça que j'adore, bien sûr. Le rock and roll, bien sûr que j'aime faire, bien sûr. Puis l'entraînement physique, j'en fais depuis des années, puis c'est sûr que je commence toujours aujourd'hui. J'ai perdu plus que 80 livres, là, puis je peux vous dire que la théorie de la refusion de la dette, je vais vous l'expliquer c'est quoi, parce que c'est super important, parce que c'est ça la seule solution qui va nous sortir, bien sûr, d'où qu'on est dans la crise actuelle. Dans la crise actuelle, on est dans une crise financière publique-privée, fait que c'est la théorie de la refusion de la dette qu'il faut faire, bien sûr, pour avoir une collectif de civilisation nord-américaine intégrale, bien sûr, que ça soit, bien sûr, dans l'intégrité de l'Amérique du Nord, bien sûr, pour la théorie de la refusion de la dette. Donc, prendre toute la dette publique-privée. Fait que toute cette dette-là, publique-privée, on va la prendre ensemble et on va faire mon 10 500 en tant que citoyen privé, votre 10 500, on va faire ensemble. Fait que de côte à côte, c'est la théorie de la refusion de la dette. Puis encore une fois, je vais vous montrer une photo. Celle-là, cette photo démontre pourquoi je dis que c'est la seule solution, parce que vous voyez de la gauche, de la droite, mais en ce moment, au qu'on est rendu, c'est la seule solution qui existe. Il n'y a pas d'autre solution. Je vais vous montrer exactement. Ça, c'est la dette publique en 2020-2021. Ça, c'était la dette qu'on payait, juste payer l'intérêt sur la dette. C'est pas toute la dette totale, c'est juste l'intérêt qu'on payait sur la dette. On payait 20,3 milliards. En 2024, on paye 46,5 milliards. Fait que ça a plus que doublé, là. Regardez, 2020-2021, ça a plus que doublé. Double, ça aurait été 20,3, ça aurait été 40,6. C'est rendu à 46,5 en 3 ans. C'est sûr qu'il y a eu la situation d'urgence de COVID, mais regardez ça. C'est 46,5 milliards. Fait qu'il n'y a pas d'autre solution que la théorie de la refusion de la dette, peut être de la gauche, de la droite, au centre, centriste universel, comme votre dragon arc-en-ciel, philosophe, artiste, athlète. Mais c'est la seule solution, c'est la théorie de la refusion de la dette. C'est quoi? Je vais vous l'expliquer tout de suite. On va prendre toute la dette, ma dette, votre dette, notre dette ensemble. Et bien sûr, on va faire un ramassage de côte à côte. Toute la dette publique-privée, l'Amérique du Nord, puis on va faire exactement ce qu'on fait en Europe, mais parallèle à ma théorie. Ma théorie inclut bien sûr la théorie d'intégration monétaire. C'est exactement ce qu'on fait en Europe. En Europe, ils ont créé une nouvelle monnaie. Et cette nouvelle monnaie, ça s'appelle l'euro, puis on crée une nouvelle banque centrale. On va créer une nouvelle banque en Amérique du Nord, mais en faisant de même, on va prendre toute la dette publique-privée, ma dette de 10 500, la vôtre, la mienne, la nôtre, la tienne. On va faire un ramassage, bien sûr, de la dette et du collectif, des citoyens privés comme moi-même, en dette de 10 500. On va faire l'addition ensemble. On va mettre, bien sûr, une addition. On va augmenter tout ça ensemble. On va mettre tout le paquet ensemble. Avec tout cet argent-là, ça va fonder cette nouvelle banque. On va mettre un taux d'intérêt de 10%. On va créer une nouvelle monnaie basée sur le dollar des États-Unis. Les papillons, ils ont dit oui. Fait qu'on va baser sur le dollar américain. Bien sûr, on va baser sur le dollar américain parce que le dollar américain, c'est encore la monnaie de change internationale, bien sûr, la monnaie de change du monde intellectuel, puis du monde financier, puis du monde du commerce mondial. C'est encore la devise des États-Unis. Fait qu'on va faire tout ça. On va prendre, bien sûr, toute la monnaie ensemble, puis on va faire, bien sûr, cet échange de cette monnaie, ce compromis qu'on va faire, bien sûr, pour la continuité de la civilisation nord-américaine, le collectif, puis avec ça, on va prendre toute la dette publique-privée, toute la dette publique-privée, toute la dette publique-privée, toute la dette publique-privée. Fait qu'on va faire un ramassage. Le bon 10 500, le vôtre, le mien, le vôtre, le mienne. On va mettre tout ça ensemble, puis on va faire la création de cette nouvelle monnaie. Cette nouvelle monnaie, bien sûr, ça va s'appeler l'UI, unité d'échange universelle, unité d'échange universelle, unité d'échange universelle. Donc, c'est cette unité d'échange universelle qu'on va faire ensemble. Et on va bien sûr créer cette nouvelle monnaie. Cette nouvelle monnaie, ça va s'appeler l'unité d'échange universel, et on va appeler cette unité d'échange universel, qu'on va appeler, basé sur l'argent des États-Unis, bien sûr, et basé sur l'argent des États-Unis, bien sûr. On va créer une unité d'échange universelle, quand ça s'appelle égal au dollar américain, ou au dollar des États-Unis, ou dollar des États-Unis, bien sûr, qu'on va faire ensemble, et bien sûr qu'on va appeler ensemble pour que ça fasse, bien sûr, X, Y, Z, Y, Z. Ça fasse pour l'unité d'échange universelle, et bien sûr que ça fasse, bien sûr, X, Y, Z quand j'étais, puis bien sûr, pour continuer de faire l'entraînement physique, bien sûr que ça fasse, bien sûr ensemble, pour cet entraînement physique. On va faire tous ensemble, bien sûr, pour cet entraînement physique qu'on va faire tous ensemble. Pour cet entraînement physique, ça va être l'exercice puis l'implémentation de la théorie de la dette, unité d'échange universelle. Ça va faire une unité d'échange universelle, et bien sûr, on va faire ce grand compromis, et pour l'Amérique du Nord, et on va faire, bien sûr, une unité d'échange universel, ça s'appelle pour Louis, basé sur le dollar américain, basé sur le dollar américain, bien sûr que ça fasse avec l'ensemble de la monnaie universelle, bien sûr que ça fasse ensemble, tout ça. Et on va mettre un taux d'intérêt de 10% maximum, ça peut être 3,33, 1,56, 7,18, ça peut être n'importe quoi. On va faire toute cette théorie ensemble. Et c'est ça qu'on va faire, bien sûr, on va aller s'hydrater. Fait qu'on va prendre toute la dette, on va faire un gel des prix. Avec ça, on va pouvoir financer les gens à faire l'entraînement physique, beaucoup d'entraînement physique, à rebâtir des ponts, l'infrastructure. On va pouvoir tout faire ça avec tout cet argent-là, et bien sûr, faire du renouveau, et bâtir plus de ponts, plus de centrales de l'Hydro-Québec, avec la théorie de la refusion de la dette. C'est la seule et unique solution, mes chers Québécois et Québécoises. Puis avec ça, on s'en va faire de l'entraînement physique dans le soleil au centre. On va aller mettre de la crème, parce qu'il faut mettre de la crème, puis on va aller faire l'entraînement physique, on s'hydrate. Oh yeah! Imaginez-vous combien de travail que ça a fait pour avoir de l'eau ici. Tous les travailleurs publics qui ont bâti, tous les aqueducs en dessous. Oh no, I'm speaking for my vlog.
Oh, nice.
No problem. But learn some French, please.
I will.
Nice. Love you guys. Where are you guys from?
We live in Lake Tahoe.
Lake Tahoe, coming up in Montreal. We love you. Eat some poutine and learn some French, please. Bye. Have a nice stay here. We love tourists. On aime ça les touristes. Puis c'est j'aime ça leur chanter du rock&roll. Hein. Puis bien sûr, moi en étant bilingue, là, comme Céline. Mais... j'adore quand les gens viennent, puis quand les gens viennent de notre pays, puis j'aime toujours leur parler de Montréal, de la belle province, puis des centrales de l'Hydro-Québec, puis tout ça, là, puis du français, puis le Louis C, puis de l'histoire, puis tout ça, la culture, parce qu'on a fait le grand compromis linguistique au Québec, tu sais. On continue à le faire moi-même, puis c'est juste ça. En Amérique du Nord, on a fait le grand compromis linguistique, puis avec nos frères et sœurs noirs en Amérique du Nord, ils travaillent sur le racisme, c'est sur moi-même, sur toutes ces choses-là, tu travailles tous les jours, puis c'est ça, il faut travailler. J'offre qu'est-ce que j'offre à tout le monde, tu sais. Des bisous, puis des châtains, puis des câlins, puis des chatouilles, puis j'aime ça aussi. Je peux faire l'apprentissage du français, mais ça me rend plaisir. Puis moi, c'est des moyens par l'art puis la chanson, là, mais c'est sûr qu'il y a d'autres moyens à le faire, là, mais c'est sûr que moi, principalement, c'est pas de la comédie, puis le rock'n'roll est de chez nous, avec de l'eau comme un fou pour les infirmières, les pompiers amour, 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 là, puis le soleil à mon papa, je danse. Ah ouais. Et ça, j'aimerais ça peinturer ça en arc-en-ciel, ou rouge comme ça, là. Ici, il va y avoir des fleurs. Ça va être nice. Eh ouais. Oh yeah. Gonna get that rock and roll. Hey, merci les travailleurs publics, au public qui ramasse les poubelles à vidange. Là. Get it for that rock and roll. Alrighty, let's go for that rock and roll. Let's go. We get that chopper here, we roll. On fait de l'entraînement physique, mais chat, we gotta put a little bit of that. A little bit of that. Sunscreen dance, the crème solaire. Let's go get ready for that drill. For that drill for the firefighters, butchers, for the vets today. Pour les vétérans aujourd'hui, on va devoir mettre de la crème. Let's go pour les vétérans, pour les pompiers, for the firefighters, butchers. We're gonna go put it on the X, put it on the Z, and put it on the Y. We're gonna do a little dance. And, oh yeah, sunscreen. Thank you for the sunscreen, sunscreen. Let's go cheerleader for the butchers, bakers, nurses, doctors, firefighters, those nurses. Du cheerleading pour les infirmières, les pompiers, les infirmières, les travailleurs de l'agriculture qui font le changement des aquatiques. Love you vets, les vétérans, les pompiers, we're gonna love you, love you, love you. Let's go before you see, put on that sunscreen. Well, I think I'm gonna take off the shirt actually. Take out the whole shirt, maybe not. Maybe just a little bit to get it on the drills. Heat wave, let's go for that heat wave. Oh yeah, gotta get that heat wave, man. Gotta get it, put it on, and get ready to get on the dance. Oh yeah. Hold on, so let's go. We to go over time every time. We're gonna dance and put a little bit of sunscreen. Oh yeah. Get on that drill, rock and roll. Heat wave workout, stay hydrated. Heat wave workout, gotta stay hydrated. Here goes those helicopter chopper, volando physique. For those workers. We're gonna go for the X for the Y. Get a little bit of kids, a little bit of kids. Some of that LOV, for that LOV. And then we're gonna get for that X, for that Z, for that Y. Wanna get it for the X and for the love. Oh yeah. Let's go for the firefighters, butchers, and we're gonna get it for the next one. For the white, for the rainbow. Bold. The arc-en-ciel for the rainbow gonna go slide. Slide left and slide off the right. Slide left and slide off the right. We're gonna get it for the X, for the Z, for the right. For the Z and for the 42. For the 42, for the 42. Let's go. Rock and roll. For that X, for that Y, for that Z. Let's go. Helicopter, choppers, and let's go get me some drills. HHH. Playing that defense. Rainbow Dragon defense. Playing for the drills. Hot, hot, hot. Do it for the X, for the Y, for the Z. Stiff on. For that stiff arm. Get it for that left, for that right. HHH drill. Left, left, left. Let's go for that defense, offense. Pour la défense, puis l'offense. Slide right, slide left. We gotta go. We got it. Oh, no fumble. Fumble recovery, baby. Let's go. HHH. On three. Let's go. Give me some squats. Football dance, dance, dance. Squats, squats, squats. Let's go left, right. Let's get it for that X, for that Y. Go for that X, go for that Y. We're gonna slide left and slide right. Il faut qu'on glisse. Get that balloon up and down. La gauche puis la droite. On avance, on recule. We're gonna slide on left and right and right. For the silver, the firefighters, butchers, bakers, nurses, doctors, grocery store clerks. Let's go for the farmers, pour les fermiers, pour les fermiers, pour les fermiers. Pour les travailleurs en agriculture, pour tous ceux qui font la production alimentaire. Let's go for the X, for the Y, for the Z. We gotta get it X, Y, Z. Let's go. Left, right, slide. On glisse. Let's go for those butchers, bakers, nurses, doctors, grocery store clerks. Pour les bouchers, bouchers dans les boucheries. For those in the fast food making us some sandwiches. Let's go. Left, right, slide. Slide to the left, slide to the right. Hold the football. Let's go for 6 yards. 6 yards down the middle. 6 yards to the left, 6 yards down the right. We're gonna get it for the X, for the Y, for the Z, and for that rainbow playing up. Let's go. We're gonna get it for the X, and we're gonna get it for the Z. Let's get it for the Z, for the wide receivers, for the cheerleaders or the bakers or the butchers. Some special dance workout. And we're gonna go overtime, we go overtime, we go overtime. Overtime, every time to the right and to the left. We're gonna go XYZ, let's go. Play it as we go left and right, let's go. Give for the hawk, H. Pour l'épervier. This is a Dragon Army workout. Rainbow Dragon Army, l'armée du dragon, l'entraînement du dragon arc-en-ciel. En temps supplémentaire à tous les fois, à chaque fois. Dans la belle province, on chante du Rock&Roll là, pour les travailleurs de Québec. Merci pour avoir bâti les trans, c'est les centrales. Merci, c'est pour ça que je suis capable de faire cette vidéo. Thank you to the workers of Hydro-Québec, that's why I can make this video. We build the dams, let's build some more. Construisons d'autres. Pour North America, pour l'Amérique du Nord, plus de construire de gratitude. Si vous ne parlez pas d'amour, je deviens sourd. If you don't talk about love, I become deaf, I don't hear nothing. J'entends rien. Ah ouais, pour la gauche, pour la droite. Oh, ça c'est un épervier, regarde, that's a hawk, look at that hawk. Those are the hawks, man. Ça, c'est des éperviers. Faites attention à ne pas faire ça si vous n'êtes pas connu avec les éperviers parce que c'est des prédateurs, ça. They're predators. Be careful with the hawks. Be careful with the hawks. If you're not familiar, they're gonna peck your eyes, man. They're gonna peck your eyes. That's the hawk. Don't call the hawk if you don't know how to handle it. You gotta know how to handle the hawks. Don't do that if you're not familiar. Si vous ne connaissez pas, ils vont vous manger les yeux, les éperviers. C'est des rapaces. C'est des prédateurs. They're predators. See? How they fly, they're gonna go pick your eye. So just be careful if you call them. Don't call them too much. Leave it there in the sky. Let's go. Let's get it for the hawks. We're gonna do more hawks, some more hawks. Des éperviers. HAWK. Love me some hawk island. Let's go fly high. And we're gonna give it for the X, for the Y, for the Z, and for the left, for the right. That's my favorite bird. That's my storm bird, the hawk. Mon animal, l'épervier. That's my bird. Ne pas appeler les éperviers si vous savez pas leur gestion. Les éperviers, c'est des rapaces. It's hawks. You don't call them if you don't know how to handle them. They'll peck your eyes. See, those are hawks. You're gonna come down and. Let's go. Left, right, for the left, for the right. Let's go. Going on the X and on the Y, sir. go get that drill, left, right, left, right. Let's go. Let's go for the NATO, There's a pervier. Let's go drill. Left, right. Gotta throw it 6, 6, 6, 6. Okay, 7, 7, 7. Let's go. Give me some of those squats. There's agrupisma, there's agrupisma, there's agrupisma. And we're gonna go in for the left, for the right, and for the Z. And we're gonna get that up and down. And we're gonna keep it in motion. We gotta go, go, go. We gotta go for the drill, gotta get it for the drill. Work out, work out, work out. Get those hands up. Get those hands up. Keep it in motion, stay hydrated. Super high heat wave. Gotta get that heat wave. Left, right, amour. La chaleur, let's go. More squats. There's agrupisma, there's agrupisma, there's agrupisma. We're gonna get it for the drills, build more satellites, plus the satellite. Let's go, this is my work. Here on the mountain, always working vlogs, you know. We gotta get it for the X, for the Y, for the Z. Let's go for those squats. Gotta get it for the X and Y and the Z. Pull out la droita. Hold on la tight. Let's go for that drill, Gotta get it for the left, for the right, for the Z, and for the left. Let's go for that shooting up.
Candid camera, baby.
Huh? Huh?
You recognize me from so far?
You can put me on any camera you want.
I was the
I owe you nothing. I owe you nothing. I owe you nothing. go. For the left, for the right, for the Z. Let's go for the sun. Let's go for the firefighters, butchers, bakers, nurses, doctors, grocery store clerks. Let's get it for the left, for the right, for the left. And for the X. And for the Y, for the Z. Yes. Let's go. Let's go for that X, for that Y, for that Z.
Il est vraiment immédiat. Mais là, ils vont se pratiquer depuis longtemps.
That's the hawk. C'est l'épervier, ça, vous voyez? That's the hawk right there. Let's go. Let's go get it on the trail. Up we go, Hawk HAWK coming in, on se lance. Launch the rocket all the way, build more satellites, coast to coast defense, coast to coast defense. De la gauche, puis de la droite, de la gauche, puis de la droite. Let's go, rock and roll. Gotta go down squats, SQATS. On y va. Gotta get it down and up. Oh yeah, that's overtime. Gotta get it on that overtime every time. You know the drill. Overtime every time. We slide left and right. On glisse de la gauche, puis de la droite. Oh yeah. Let's go, slide it up, slide it down. Gonna do some of those hawks. Always gotta do some push-ups, you know. So important to do those push-ups. Nice, man. Skills, skills, skills. Check it through that. Got a bite. I love athletics. Let's go. Give it up for that 6 yards left. 6 yards right, 6 yards listen. There's that hawk again. There's that hawk, 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 hawk. 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 Oh yeah. Let's get it on the go. Let's get it on the no. Let's get it on the Z. Let's go left, right, left, right. Now we're gonna go for the drill, for the drill. On the hawk, on the hawk, on the hawk. For those drills. Left, right, and center. Go get it on the X, on the Y, and the Z, and drill it some more. Go back and forth. Do a little bit of X. HAWK. Fly high, fly high. Get that hydration. Super important to stay hydrated, you know. Get that hydration. Thank you to those who build the hydration systems all the way underneath. Ceux qui ont fait bien sûr le système d'hydratation. On va faire bien sûr for the X, for the Y, for the Z. Oh yeah. Hey, gotta get hydrated, man. So super important to stay hydrated. Drink water, sip, drink, sip, drink. We're gonna get it on the X, on the Y, and the Z, and we're gonna drink, drink, drink. Hydratation, hydratation, hydratation. Gotta get it for that hydration. Oh yeah. Ooh. Ooh. Gotta get it on the X, on the Y, and the Z. So we're gonna get it on the X, Y, Z, X, Y, Z. So I gotta get it that hydration. That was good. Let's go. We're gonna go overtime roundabout. Let's go bring it for the SQATS. On y va pour on descend. Let's go bring it for the XYZ, XYZ. And we're gonna go SQATS. Let's go, Hawk. L'hyperviolence, les mains dans les airs, let's go. Sur les orteils, sur les orteils. On y va, let's go. Get an H-A-W-K. Flip everyone down. So let's go H-A-W-K. We gotta get it for those drills. Gotta get it for those drills. We gotta get it for that XYZ. We gotta do a little bit of dance. No workout complete without push-ups. Huh, Paul? Y a pas d'entraînement qui est complet. Can always do push-ups, you know? go. Give me some of those squats. Hop, hop. Des accouplissements. On y va. Let's get it up. Throw it in. Get it left, right, and center. Hot day, hot day, hot day. Gotta hydrate again. Faut qu'on s'hydrate encore vraiment. Il fait chaud, chaud, chaud. Fait que super important l'hydratation, you know. Super important l'hydratation. So we gotta get it on the drill, on the drill, on the drill, on the drill. And we gotta get it on the now, on the now, on the now. Just ask. Juste demander. You look a bit like the actor who played in Hunger Games.
What?
Tu ressembles. Tu sais l'acteur qui a joué dans le Hunger Games, là? T'en souviens-tu du film avec Hunger Games? Avec. Il y a eu une série, une trilogie, genre, c'est plus comme 5 films, là, déjà, avec Katniss.
Ouais,
T'en souviens?
ouais,
Tu sais, le gars qui a joué dedans dans le film avec Katniss, là, qui est allé en finale, là?
ouais.
Tu y ressembles un peu?
Ah ouais, oh putain.
Ouais, 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 tu y
Ok.
ressembles ou je sais pas, parce que moi j'adore ce film-là, là.
Ouais.
Puis tu m'as fait penser à lui, pendant une seconde, je pensais que c'était lui. J'avais demandé l'autographe, mais c'est pas là.
Ah,
Non, non.
il est américain, moi je suis français.
Ok, de la France. Oui, oui, c'est un film Hunger Games avec Katniss. C'est Katniss Evergreen. C'est vraiment un bon film, là. Je sais pas si tu l'as vu, Hunger Games, là.
Ouais, j'ai vu les deux premiers.
Mais c'est ça, c'est ça. Anyway, tu ressembles au gars qui a joué dans le film, là, si tu t'en souviens, là, tu sais.
Ok,
En tout cas.
c'est cool.
Ciao, ciao.
Merci,
Puis c'est possible des fois parce qu'il y en a qui viennent ici à Montréal, tu sais.
Ouais.
Fait que des fois, il y a des. On sait pas, mais il faut qu'on les reconnaisse parce que c'est quand même une place où les acteurs viennent d'Hollywood. Et des fois, tu sais, j'en vois, mais des fois, ils rentrent dans l'auto, sont dans l'auto. Je viens de voir d'Angelina Jolie dans l'auto, des choses comme ça. Je dis, ah! Ciao, ciao.
Ciao.
Ciao. Et voilà, on a fait un entraînement physique. We did that physical workout, now we gotta go drill it back. Whoop out to H quarters, we're gonna go towards the sun, vers le soleil pour la dernière marche, rock and roll time. Overtime, every time, with the rainbow dragon, rainbow dragon, rainbow dragon, rainbow dragon. XYZ, we're gonna go towards the sun, vers le soleil, towards the sun. You know? Vers le soleil. Let's go for the bilingual rock and roll. As we gonna get it for the hit the road. As we sing it towards the sun. For the farmers and the butchers and the bakers, one. For those public workers who gonna build the aqueducts. Pour les travailleurs publics qui ont construit les aqueducs. Pour les fermiers. Les champs de patates qui font la production alimentaire. Avec les pompiers, amour et santé. Ever giving love and health. Et oui, on fait encore. Mais ça fasse pour encore. Et venir prendre du soleil. Prendre du soleil de la belle province. C'est encore une autre phase. Pas d'argent pour une guitare, vous savez déjà la comédie chez nous. C'est le Mont-Royal. Oh regarde, il fait le fou, mais c'est bon parce que il se réchauffe. Et dans l'ombre. Et il va falloir qu'on s'hydrate. Une autre chanson de ce printemps. Printemps, mais il fait chaud comme dans l'été. Et faut-tu que je dise, s'il vous plaît, que vous allez aller à la danse chez nous de Montréal jusqu'aux îles. Aux îles, quelles îles? Ben, il y en a bien des îles. La Madeleine, puis l'autre à gauche, à droite, au sud, au nord, au sud. Je m'hydrate. Et on fait un autre stop. Par la droite qu'on avance. Par ici, Calvaire, les roches. Ah oui, les pompiers, les travailleurs en service. De service de la danse. Hey, un autre film de production. Un autre film de production. Un autre film produit. La prêtresse, la déesse. Hey, c'est avec un H, je sais que Québécois, vous avez de la misère à le prononcer. Le dragon, mais c'est assez. Assez avec l'arc-en-ciel, le noir et blanc, mais tous ensemble. Oh, une bière locale. Une bière du Québec, 2 bières du Québec, 3 bières, c'est assez pour moi. En me bois pas plus, j'oublierai mon nom. Et j'oublierai à tout le don. And we get it for the butchers. And we get it for the singer. And we get it for the bliss. And we're gonna sing it for the local beer production. For the beer on the plantations. We gotta get it for the true we cone. We gotta get it for the true we don't. We gotta get it for the true we sown. We gotta get it for the true we zone. We gotta get it for the true we sown. We gotta get it for the X we Z. We gotta get it for the X we get. We gotta get it for the X we led. We gotta get it for the X we says. I don't know about that said, but I know I ain't upset. When I work out yet. That's that rock and roll that said. Set it for the best, set it for the least, and the least up in the big. From the small and tall and least. Gotta get up in the least. Faut quand même chanter une autre chanson. Ben notre ben tambour, ben donc. Que ça fasse tous ensemble. Ben chez nous ici la belle province. Un autre marée ensemble. Des marées et des calvaires. Ici sur la route des montagnes. Avec les roches sa face. Bienvenue ben tous ensemble. Hey, pour l'amour en soir. Puis ça fait l'amour de Douard. Il faut boire l'eau car il fait chaud. Il faut boire l'eau car il fait chaud. Il faut boire l'eau car il fait chaud. You gotta drink that water because it's hot. You gotta drink that water like it's not. You gotta drink that water because it's hot. And we gotta keep it up the blocks. Up the blocks and talks and rocks. Up the blocks and talks and sparks. For the sparks and for the rainbow. For this metal shit we go. For the telemites and the Crowley. For the get it. Let's get it for that X. Get it for that X for that Y. Gotta get it for that X for that Y. For the cyclists on the bikes. Pour les cyclistes sur la bicycle, de modèle une chanson, ils vont pédale. À pédale, ça pédale vite, puis ça descend, puis ça monte. Et moi, ça fait des heures déjà mon entraînement physique. Et ça fasse, puis ça danse, puis ça danse. Encore une autre, pas en avant, puis pas en arrière, on va aller checker le boss. Un autre amour, regarde, dans le soleil, ça lance, on va aller checker le Québec. Incorporation, à la radio, du dragon, ça serait de la gratitude, puis du rock-and-roll. Rainbow Dragon, rock-and-roll. It's gonna be that great. We're gonna go check out that bus there. Check out that bus. See that white and black bus, that black and white bus, that black and white bus, that black and white bus, and XYZ. And we're gonna check that black and white bus, man. Hey, somebody hugging, that's good. Quelqu'un se donne des câlins, mais c'est bon. C'est ce que j'aime voir. Puis du monde qui s'aime, I gotta see. People like make that little V, man. On continue à chanter un peu. On va s'hydrater ici. Excusez-moi les amis de la montagne, une question pour vous. J'ai fait une demande, j'aimerais ça peinturer les bancs. Je serais prêt à faire du bénévolat.
Ça, c'est vraiment pas de notre sens, je te dirais.
Ouais.
C'est à la ville qu'il faut demander ça. C'est comme infrastructure.
J'ai déjà demandé pendant un couple d'années, là, parce qu'il y en a tellement qui... Regardons, là. Il y a tellement qui méritent un peu de peinture.
C'est vrai que ça pourrait avoir un petit coup d'amour.
Amour, du bleu, du blanc, puis du rouge. Moi, je le ferais bénévole, là. Si vous m'amenez la permission, là, avec la peinture, les outils, je le fais avec amour. Puis...
L'affaire, c'est que nous-mêmes, on ne peut pas te donner la permission. C'est la ville vraiment qui.
On appelle la mairesse ensemble.
Ouais, comme. Si vous avez son numéro.
Hey, ma conjointe, ma cousine plante, j'ai besoin de.
Ah ouais,
Ben,
direct.
Chanter du rock&roll. C'est qui ce fou-là? Non, mais sérieusement, je suis bien sérieux à 100%.
Mais oui, je comprends, mais ouais, il faudrait peut-être contacter le 3-1 ou de l'arrondissement, peut-être.
Ça savez pas tellement j'ai envie de faire ça, ça fait une couple d'années. Là.
Ouais.
Vous serez partant, vous aussi?
Ben, c'est sûr que c'est vrai que je mériterais un coup de pinceau. Là.
Quelque chose de bleu, là.
Hein?
Bleu, rouge ou arc-en-ciel, là.
C'est malade.
Ok, je vais encore faire du suivi, puis je vais faire un suivi avec ça.
Ok.
Ciao, bonne journée à vous. Ciao. I'm gonna paint all the... I'm gonna do it, I don't mind. I come here, it's like my second home, so I'm just gonna I can do volunteering just to paint them some color. You know, it's been like 44 years they're like that, but I would like to paint them all. I wouldn't mind just putting some muscle, you know, just paint, 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 paint. It's been 7 years, you know. I'm waiting for them to give me some tools, and I would love to put a little bit of color, like I don't know, some blue, some white. It would be so fun. It'd be painting like with the rock and roll paint. I go a bit crazy about it, anyways. So I would love to do that, you know, a little bit, but it's a lot of things, you know, with bureaucracy. Sometimes it's like bureaucracy things don't get done, so we gotta get it on the X. And it'll be fun. So it's still fun. I would love to do that. J'aimerais ça faire ça. Ben, yeah, I know. Yeah. Let's sing some more of that rock and roll in the sun. Up and we go towards my dragon's lair. Up we go up in the road. They rather argue than to do. I prefer s'ostiner que de faire. I don't need that. Anyways, that would be so fun just to paint all these. I want to paint the benches. See, like this one. Painted these ones, peinturer ceux-là, puis just paint, juste les peinturer, là. Ça serait tellement bon, tout ça, là. Juste la peinture, oh, ça sent bon ici. Oh, that's so fresh. The ears was just cut, and gotta get it from the cut. Oops, sorry, pardon. See all these benches, juste toutes ces bancs ici, là. J'aimerais ça les peinturer, une bonne peinture, quelque chose de bleu, blanc, au rouge. Ben, that's it, that's all, you know, so. 4:15, I gotta go back to headquarters, je dois être de retour à ma grotte. Je dois retourner à ma grotte parce que j'ai un film à 6h30. I got a movie, so it's already been a few hours. I'm just gonna sing some rock and roll as we go, and gotta return this to the. Oh, it's half of it, but this, you know, this could actually kill a rabbit. I don't know if it serves a purpose. Maybe I should bring it to the lost and found, but I don't know if it needs a purpose. And anyways, I don't know if it serves a purpose, but it's this, you know, here which it is, and we're gonna get it on the X and bring it because this can stab a rabbit. So what if it stabs a rabbit? What if it stabs a rabbit? And gotta get it on the go and get it on the. Woo! Smells like that barbecue. Du bon barbecue, du bon barbecue, du bon barbecue. And we get it on the X, on the X, on the Y, on the Z. That's what we're gonna do. Drill. This we got on the X, on the X, on the Y, on the Z, on the Z. And that's how we're gonna get it, you know. So we're gonna get it on the X, on the Y, on the Z. rock and roll, on the road we go. On du rock and roll, le soeur. L'amour qu'on fasse, puis regarde. J'ai trouvé puis j'ai sauvé peut-être avec ça un lapin. Then I saved a little bit of a rabbit, a little bit of a rabbit, a little bit of a rabbit. And we gotta get it on the X and the Y and the Z, you know. So we gotta get it on the X. I was looking for the. This is plastic. This is plastic and metals, and we gotta get it on the X, on the Y, and the Z. Steps down.
Oh, okay, yeah, yeah. Okay.
Marching steps don't lie. Men lie, women lie. Marching steps don't lie. Les femmes, les hommes, ils mentent. Puis pas de marche, les pas de marche, les pas de marche, non. Ne mentent pas, par exemple. Get it for that rainbow. Oh, pardon, sorry. I'm just gonna show you a little bit of that thing there here. So if you like history, there's a bit of hockey history right here. Ça, c'est l'histoire du hockey ici, vous savez. This is, of course, 11th of February, Jean Béliveau. This is when he scored his fifth 500 goal here. So those are his skates, Jean Béliveau, if you like Habs, when Habs were still winning. And this is from 11th of February 1971, 11 février 1971. Puis ça a été bien sûr les patins qui ont été gelés ici. Fait que ça, c'est l'histoire du hockey. This is hockey history if you're interested, but look at that. See, so this was for the 500 goal, when Jean Béliveau scored the 500 goal. And those are the skates. Ça, c'est les patins de Jean Béliveau qui a été mis de même pour le 500e, son 500e but for the 500 goal. C'est ça. C'est Jean Béliveau le 11 février 1971, 11th of February 1971. Eh? So, if you're into hockey culture, hockey history, vous avez l'histoire des Canadiens de Montréal, là, juste là, avec les patins de Jean Béliveau. Si ça vous intéresse, ça peut toujours... toujours faire... Allez voir ça, puis... Dis go Habs go, because you're in Hockey Town. Vous êtes dans la ville de hockey ici, fait que... il faut bien apprécier les patins, parce qu'ils gagnaient dans ce temps-là. They were winning in that time a lot, you know. On va y aller pour du rock-and-roll. Du rock-and-roll, get it for the rock-and-roll, for the rock-and-roll, for the rock-and-roll. Vous avez une légion de... Got a legion of... asking for food. The birds, they get close and we're gonna feed them. Gotta feed them some scraps, you know? Because they're here, they get hungry and they see people and they come, they flock. And they might get a lot of food, man. It's food scraps. There they are, there they are. And we gotta get it for that drill, you know. Gotta get it for that now, gotta get it for that X, for that Z, and for that left, and for that right, and for that white, and for that black, and for that Rainbow pour le noir, le blanc et l'arc-en-ciel. Le noir, le blanc et l'arc-en-ciel. Pas Saint-Jean, foutez pas le bordel. That's not a Saint-Jean yet. Don't get it for upset. And I get it for the rumble yet. For I know sometimes upsets. For the glory, for the road. Up to the layer of the dragon, that's we go. Et on y va au royaume du dragon, ben de l'arc-en-ciel, voyons. Et après ça fasse bien ensemble, enchaîner un pas puis de l'avance. A little bit of that drill. For the problem, for the squill. For the love and for the deal. For the love and for the deal. For the meal, for the heel. For the meal, for the heel. For the meal, for the thrill. For the thrill, for the squeal. For the love and for the black. And for the white and for the rainbow. Pour le noir et pour le blanc. Pour l'arc-en-ciel. Bienvenue dans chez nous, chez moi. De la montagne qu'on regarde, on s'en va vers là. Notre-Dame de Grâce. We're going, heading towards that NDG. Just the one so you can see. Just the one so you can see. We're heading towards the NDG. Just for the one and for the soul so you can see. On s'en va vers Notre-Dame de la Grâce, c'est pas grave. Et je regarde des éperviers, ça lance. Gotta see those hawks. Gotta hear it for the bucks. For the truckers on the road. Pour les camionneurs sur la route. Hey, they're trying to get me in the eyes again. The left and the right. But in succession, that's alright. Bugs and get be eaten. Les font manger les bébites. Faut manger, puis regarde un peu sa face. Encore, 2-3 pas par en arrière, puis par en avant, puis ça avance. Du à duc, des jeunes, des adultes, for the youth, and for the love, for the youth and for the scrubs. For the youth and for the scrubs and for the look and for the loves. Pour l'amour, for the youth and for the love, for the bucks and for the trouble, for the yellow, for the double, for the muscles, for the sweet and for the soft, for the sweet and for the soft, and for the love and for the books and for the looks. It ain't all about the looks. Sometimes gotta keep it humble. What a proud and royal lofty for that telemites, you salute the sun. See, les salutations solaires, télémite, c'est pas clair, il faut les saluer ensemble, beau. Des fois ça prend des années, puis il faut qu'avance, puis ça avance le soleil. Béni qu'il soit de ce nom, hey, que ça produit la bière, puis regarde la terre noire, ça fait des satellites, puis des arcs-en-ciel dans la belle province, puis ça danse tous ensemble avec un pied par la gauche, par la droite. Oui, je parle trop vite, pas besoin de l'eau bénite, juste une bière à la place. Regarde, des fleurs bien magie, bien chez nous, ben regarde, c'est fait le fou. And we gotta sing it rock-and-roll for the good, for the go, and we keep on singing low, keep on singing dough, keep on singing for the flow, keep on singing for keep on singing for the dough, keep on singing for the doughs, keep on singing for the whole world to know. For the love and for the dough, for the script and for the flow, for the crypt and for the love, and for the lips and for the doves, for the lips and for the clothes, and for the lips and for the flows, for the flows and for the loves, and for the loves, for the loves and for the doves, for the lips and for the clothes and for the lovers, for the butchers, for the bakers, for the truckers, pour les infirmières, les pompiers, qu'on danse, for the lovers, gotta tighten my belt. Gotta put my belt on and we're gonna rock and roll on. Hoppa. On y va en la chanson ensemble. Une autre chanson pour les amoureux qui font l'amour. Je descends, je m'en vais chez nous. Mais eux autres vont faire des bisous puis des câlins, ben comme il le faut dans la forêt. They're gonna make it for the love, they're gonna make it for the dove, they're gonna make it for that sunlight, for the lovers that I sing up and down, you know I spleen, and we're going up and down. For them to beam more satellites, gotta beam up in the sky, gotta beam up in the lights, gotta beam up in the slide, gotta be some sly, but I kissed the snake, and I like it, I want that spear. So now I'm gonna discuss the spear that I want, the new sword, SWRD is going to be black and white snakes, a black snake and a white snake with rainbow. A black and a white snake and with rainbow. Handle that's rainbow with a black and a white snake and a golden spear. Vu une épée solaire. un serpent noir, un serpent blanc, un serpent noir, un serpent blanc, un serpent noir, un serpent blanc, puis bien sûr avec une épée, que ça soit bien sûr avec la couleur, comme bien sûr de la couleur, pour que ça soit de la couleur bien sûr, comme l'épée solaire, de l'or, mais avec de l'arc-en-ciel, fait que le bas de l'épée, genre, mais qu'il y a pour la poignée, dans le fond, la poignée, je veux qu'elle soit un serpent noir, un serpent blanc, puis le reste en arc-en-ciel, puis avec une épée comme solaire, comme du sol, comme en or, mais avec de l'argent aussi. Moitié-moitié, la lune, le soleil, moitié là-dessus, so 50-50. If melted gold, and of course, not only gold, but melted gold with silver to represent the sun and the moon, represent the gold with sun and the moon, represent gold with sun and the moon, and we're gonna get it for that X, for that Z, for that Y, you know, so gotta get it for the X, and now I can go and can traverse, and I have like an hour, 15 minutes, till I get back to headquarters. Oh, it's hot. It is hot, I gotta say, really hot, and gonna get that hydration, gonna dye my hair, but it's a hot day. I got some water, so I got some water on the stops, and I also gotta say gratitude for those who build the water pipes. So that the water pipes are, of course, frozen, not frozen, but that we have access. But I mean that they build them so that they don't freeze during the winter. Correction. J'ai dit qu'ils sont gelés, mais j'ai dit comment ils font le savoir-faire pour pas qu'ils gèlent dans l'hiver. Les hivers, c'est sûr qu'ils ont changé les 10, 20 dernières années, les 7 dernières années, comme moi aussi, tu sais, il n'y a rien que je veux retourner en arrière, mais j'ai déménagé, puis j'habite à une meilleure place, puis j'ai de la gratitude pour ça. I moved and I live in a better place, so that's why gratitude now as I go towards the sun, and I'm always grateful, thankful for everything that I got, you know, and if I make $1 million, I'm gonna give 50%, because my anonymous friend who's enabled my success, I will say if I would have stayed where I was, I would have probably been dead or in jail. Je dis toujours, ben, si j'aurais resté où j'étais, j'aurais peut-être mort ou en prison, j'aurais été peut-être mort ou en prison, j'aurais été peut-être mort ou en prison. Si j'aurais resté à la place où j'étais, là, puis peut-être mort ou en prison, fait que si je fais $1 milliard, je donne la moitié à ma soeur, que je considère comme famille, ma soeur, mais je donne le pouvoir de procuration, qu'est-ce que power of attorney, I offered and accepted, I got accepted for power of attorney, and that's what it is, you know, with XYZ as an Aspie, you know, being Asperger's, avoir l'Asperger's, des fois je suis direct, sometimes I'm direct and straightforward, and just let me know, you know, and sometimes that's what it is, and it's special ed sometimes, and Asperger's, I don't know the trauma head wound where I live, but I do know today, carpe diem it every day, and paid my rent, paid my electricity bill, got food and coffee, and I just finished a killer workout. J'ai payé mon loyer, j'ai payé ma facture d'électricité, j'ai payé mon loyer, payé ma facture d'électricité, puis j'ai du café petit thé, puis bien sûr, je fais l'entraînement physique, tu sais. Fait que c'est ça. Et je vous encourage à faire l'entraînement physique, puis encore une fois, l'épée que je veux avoir, c'est une épée avec un serpent noir, un serpent blanc, avec une poignée, sur la poignée, arc-en-ciel, un serpent noir puis blanc avec l'épée moitié-moitié, si possible, or et argent pour symboliser la lune puis le soleil. So what I want is a black snake and a white snake on a rainbow handle, my new sword, a black snake and a white snake on a rainbow handle with a gold for representing the sun, and with silver to represent the sun and the moon as in unity, God, Goddess, you know, God, Goddess. Présenter la déesse, puis l'Amérique du Nord, l'Union, North American Union of North and South, if you will, North and South. Le Nord puis le Sud de l'Amérique du Nord, si vous voulez, like, North America, you know, we gotta get that coast to coast, and the côte à côte, so I am a Pan-American, je suis un Pan-Américain quand même, Pan-Américain, but that's what it is, so that's what we do, so we gotta get that rock and roll, so we gotta drill all the way, of course, to the west, il faut qu'on va jusqu'au l'ouest, and I got 7 kilometers about, j'ai encore 7 kilomètres pour y aller, bien sûr, puis pour que je fasse la traversée, c'est à peu près 1h15, it's another hour and a half, so I should be there by, I don't know what time it is now, and it is, of course, what time it is. We're gonna check, and we're gonna get it on the road, and it's 4:38, so I'm good. I'm good. I'm good to be there by 6. Jusqu'à 6h, je devrais être là. Fait que c'est bon, parfait. That's perfect. Don't want to be late. Gotta wash my stinky feet. Je dois me laver les pieds parce que je suis sur les pieds. Puis je m'en vais à chez nous, dans ma grotte. I go home. This is my home. Ça c'est chez nous. Hawkeye, le Montréal, c'est chez nous. This is my home. It's my home right here, man.